Friday, the Hub Network presents the It Came From the Day After Thanksgiving Movie Marathon. Alvin and the Chipmunks meet Frankenstein. Alvin and the Chipmunks meet the Wolfman. And the dog who saved the holidays.
Booyah!
3 movies to help you escape the chaos, the cacophony, and the crowds of the day they call Black Friday.
Duh.
It might relieve the bloating, too. It Came From the Day After Thanksgiving Movie Marathon. Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. Only on the Hub Network.
Hello, patrons and page champs. It's Akafa Shiori here, and you're watching VTubers against the patriarchy of Halloween movies in November. Yeah. Now, Thanksgiving is that time of year when you strap into your little high chair, ready to embark on your epic food journey. You've got your turkey, stuffing, and if you're feeling frisky, some potato salad with that. Tiffany claims it's a game changer. It's not. Tiffany, sweetie, I've had better potato salad out of a vending machine. Now, for those of you who are just joining this channel, first off, I am sorry. Second, I am a connoisseur of rants here. From going over the impeccable storyline of Grimace Island to exploring the endangered species of African birds known as the blue crane. So when I see Halloween movies being advertised somewhere in November 2002, oh, I am on that! Unlike Tiffany's potato salad, it's not good, it will never be good, let's move on. And for those of you who managed to skip out on 4 live actions of this movie and don't know who Alvin and the Chipmunks are, well, first off, where are you hiding? Second off, can I join you? Please? So the movie starts off where all good Thanksgiving movies start. In the German Confederation of the late 18th century, and Frankenstein reaches for a bear but holds himself back because he's being chased. This is a foreshadowing of sorts of the future. And for anyone who tells me, yes, I know he's Frankenstein's monster, not Frankenstein, I know, you know, but to make the movie more easier, I'm just gonna call him Frankenstein, and I'm gonna call the evil doctor Frank. So the villagers charge to Frank's house in the castle, and Frank wards them off with his impeccable shovel. Wonder what he was doing with that earlier. And they clearly are saying that they saw a monster.
Monster? What? Do you think I created some monster from dead body parts I stole from the cemetery or something?
I mean, I was gonna say it out loud, but you kind of seem like the guy to do that. You're the only one of us not wearing a hat. You're wearing a pharmacist's lab coat. You look like Dr. Doofenshmirtz's older brother, if he had an older brother, not including the mayor, which does not look anything like Doofenshmirtz. I think they're half brothers, or maybe they're not related at all. That's a rant for another video. So let's continue to the boys. They're working at the amusement park, and their entire storyline is that they want to ride another roller coaster, but they clearly have a job as their chipmunks. I mean, come on. Who's gonna pay for Dave's house? He doesn't have Air Bud yet. That's a different guy. But the plot B of this movie is that Frank wants to build his new empire in this exact amusement park. I don't understand how he got the rights. I don't understand what the audition was like, but he's here for some reason. But how old is this man? We just saw him in the 18th century, and now he's here, and this movie does nothing to explain how he managed to live this long. You'd think they'd take time to explain it somewhere in the movie, but instead they give the boys a chance to ride a car. Reasonable. So, let's get back to Frank and Frankenstein. These two lovers are having the time of their lives. They could kiss. And his completion is almost done. And then there's Alvin and the Chipmunks, who are completely lost, but it doesn't matter. There's so many buildings in this amusement park. The chances of them running into... Oh my god, they're here. He said it. He said the line. There he goes. He said it. He said it. Everyone, you call him, say it. Woo! Scooby-Doo chase sequence time. I never liked this about horror movies, or just horror in general. These guys can walk 1 mile per hour and can catch up to you as if they can teleport or something. Now, if I were running, I'd never get caught. Oh my god! Dave is on high alert looking for his children with the police. Obviously, since they're missing, they're gonna have to put a missing children's alert or something like that. And I'm not angry that he lost the children, because children go missing all the time, but these are chipmunk children. I would not leave my dog alone at a theme park. He might get kidnapped. This was bound to happen eventually. Hello, they can sing. I'm still trying to steal Airbud, by the way.
Boys.
Do you need any more information? Did I describe them okay?
Chipmunks with clothes on. Yeah, that ought to do it.
Excluding the fact that the Chipmunkettes exist. Chipmunkettes. Either way, are these the only chipmunks that are wearing clothes? What is the reason they can talk? What is the lore? So Frankenstein comes back and brings Theodore's teddy bear, and this is one of those rare things I like about this movie. If you take a moment to look at the walls, you can see details of each of the three children's personalities, with Simon's smartness, Alvin's sportiness, and Theodore's bear. And speaking of Theodore's bear, that foreshadowing I mentioned earlier is finally here again. Frankenstein picked up Theodore's bear and returned it, because it's the right thing to do.
You shouldn't be out in this rain. You could catch a cold.
He's dead! Also, you just sang yesterday. No, you just sang a couple hours ago about how you were gonna torture the guy. A lot more death than I remember. So Frank discovers that Frankenstein has gone missing. He was the one that sent the monster after the children in the first place, so he can really only blame himself in this scenario. Yeah, kick that squirrel right in the nuts. Eventually, Alvin and Simon find out that Frankenstein lives in their house, and they go through a series of, oh, he's not a monster, he's misunderstood. But that is complete, utter horseradish. Some of these look very intentional to me, but that's not my business, I guess. It's Frank's business. So I want you guys to sit down and imagine with me. Some guy comes over and steals your monster girl. What you gonna do? That's right, kidnap the oldest one and force him to be your next Frankenstein. A chipmunk Frankenstein. And Frankenstein learns how to drive. The end. Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman is slightly different. Instead of taking place in a black and white area in the past, it takes place in a black and white area in Alvin's own imagination. However, once he wakes up, everyone tries to assure Alvin that there is no monsters. I need you to remember that Frankenstein, the movie, only happened a year ago. So they retcon their own movie within a year of it being released. And they had the audacity to change the bedroom that I just complimented in favor to make Alvin look like he has more of a monster high. They gave Simon a cheeseburger on his side of the room and Theodore some discount Arthur. And look, there's Frankenstein. He's not crazy. He's met Frankenstein, guys. We've all met Frankenstein. And remember how I mentioned the plot of the last movie ended with Alvin turning into a Frankenstein? Well, the laziness of this plot is to reuse what they just did and turn Theodore into a monster at the beginning of the movie. Dang, Dave, you really let these kids just go at it wherever they want to. They've shown no sign of responsibility. Why do you keep letting them do this? I know you gotta let kids grow up and learn some things, but they met Frankenstein and now they're meeting the Wolfman. I think this is really just always on you. Growing up thinking Alvin and the Chipmunks are bad children? No. You gotta grow up and learn that Dave is the irresponsible father in all of this. When your neighbor introduces himself like this, you should know that something's wrong. No one talks like this. I did a pretty good job for steak.
Someone in this house wakes me up with their screaming every night.
Yeah, I wonder who.
Alvin!
So the rest of the movie becomes a story of how to get Theodore back to normal from his werewolf form while a school play is going on in the background. Theodore plays the main lead, by the way. That's pretty cool this time. And the Chipmunkettes are here. So there's a plotline of Theodore being an absolute dingus to his girl.
What? How'd you like to walk home with me?
Honestly, though,
Brother.
with that kind of confidence and riz, I think he just chose the wrong person this time. Yo, Theodore, I got a squirrel out back. You want me to try to, get a little hookup on here? I won't tell, they won't tell. And the movie decides to drop in a bit of lore for why Theodore can turn into a werewolf outside of the full moon. And actually, I think it's kind of genius and kind of wasted on a movie about Alvin and the Chipmunks.
For one thing, your brother, or your uncle twice removed, is already closer to the primitive animal state.
So the logic here goes that a human turning into a monster or an animal will have more clauses than an animal turning into a different kind of animal. And we're finally presented with a solution we've all been waiting for.
Shoot him with a silver bullet.
Shoot him?
Listen, Alvin, listen, Simon, I know you don't want to hear it, but out of the three of you at Chipmunks, one of you guys have got to go, and I would really say Theodore is probably the best bet. He doesn't really bring anything onto the table, and audiences will kind of love a duo more than a trio. People try to buy packages, and they don't want to buy you packages as a 3-set. Got a shotgun out back. We can kind of accomplish this all tonight if we need to be. Or we can go with the alternate solution of popping him in the head with a silver cane, but that's not really as fun. I mean, come on, I already bought the weapon. Fine, I guess we'll do it your way. So Alvin and Simon steal the cane, then they fail to get the cane because Dave is a bad father and returns the cane to stop his own child from turning into a werewolf. And going off on more on Dave, if you give chipmunks clothes, they'll gnaw at it and die. So they can't shoot their brother with a silver bullet because they're not fun. And they can't whack him with a silver cane because Dave is no fun. So they came up with their natural resolution to how to end this.
Round 1, fight!
So for seemingly no reason at all, this grown man decides to go to the elementary school and fight this child. It was his wolf instincts or something, but it was very lazy writing. And it ends with Theodore biting him on the hand, undoing his transformation and his transformation both at the same time. And the logic doesn't even make sense in universe.
Well, that's clear.
Both of these movies have their ups and downs, but I don't really see myself watching either of them for Thanksgiving. I'll be back though to review the one with the dog, because that makes sense, but most movies with talking dogs are kind of whack. That's why I think the Air Bud movie is good, while the Air Buddies movie is not good. But if I had to give both of these movies a rating, I would give Frankenstein one a 7 out of 10, because I felt like there was a lot less nonsense and lazy writing. Also, I like the ending where Frank gets a squirrel hat, and now he works at this park forever. Well, I'll have to give the werewolf one a 4 out of 10, because the direction was everywhere, and it doesn't make sense with the Alvin cinematic universe I've been trying to set up within my own mind. But if you made it here to the end of the video, you're a truly page champ. Tune into my video next month to see Oompa Loompas and whether or not they should be free, as the Wonka movie is coming out this December. Adios!